Hi, I'm Keith Miller, the author of The Basics for Successful Deer Hunting. And today we're going to talk about deer feeders. In some states, deer feeders are legal. And where they are legal, like say Texas, where I'm from, you can put a deer feeder up and hunt over it. That's okay. Chances are, you're not going to see a deer walking here, eating the food, and then you shoot it. Chances are you're not going to see that. In this case, I actually did. Last January, matter of fact, late in the season. So just keep that in mind. Most times the deer feeders, the deer just don't come there like a magnet. Now, one thing you can do is put a game camera up, and we'll talk about that later in another video. But a game camera will show what time the deer come and eat and how big they are and how many bucks you have and what size. Very important. Now, one thing I like to show are my two dogs who want to be here, Hercules and Rocky. Actually, Hercules is my son's dog, Jordan, and Rocky's mine. Anyway, so they're with us today. Okay, talking about where to put a deer feeder. First of all, you need to buy a good one. I got this from Academy. It was on sale, and very good for the value, I might add. Very happy with it. Yay, Academy. So anyway, he's friendly. So anyway, where do you put it? You know, that's the question. Where do you put a deer feeder? All right. When you look at the land, you say, okay, where are the prevailing winds? That's one thing. In this case, in South Texas, you get winds from the west, the east, the south, the north, all during deer season. So in that case, it's not that much of a factor. Then you say, well, let's see now. I say, looking at the terrain, and terrain meaning the woods and also the slope and the openness, I can tell right here, this is a good spot because we're on a power line. It's open. If you can see past here in Dieter, go ahead, that's Dieter on the camera. You see how we have the openness here? Then I'll put a stand uphill. And the stand being uphill, you can see the green stand there. Dieter, go ahead and zoom in on it. That gives me 100 yards to the deer feeder. So now I'm shooting downhill into the deer feeder. Also, the deer feeder is in the central part of my land. It's only 38 acres, but it produces a lot of deer because you can see lots of trees around here. So you got some openness, but it's not too open, and it's got trees all around. Therefore, you're going to get lots of deer coming to the deer feeder. Now, how many deer feeders do you want to have? That's another question. I say one, and the reason being, if you have one deer feeder, all the deer come in from the open field back that way, from the woods here, from the woods there, they all come this way. That way, all the hunters know, and I have 3 hunters that hunt out here at one time, myself being one of them, and we all know which way the deer are coming in and going out. Therefore, we have the other stands, one over there, and we're going to put one way over there. That's another video. And that way we know the paths of the deer coming in and out. Another factor is, if you have 2 or more deer feeders, let's say you're hunting in a stand, that one, and you don't see anything. You're going to start thinking, I bet you the big buck is eating at another feeder. That's not good to think about when you're hunting. You want to relax and enjoy your hunt, not thinking, oh, or they're eating the corn elsewhere. So, keeping that in mind, I recommend one deer feeder centrally located to all the stands, and that way you can get them on their way in and their way out. Now, when you set the feeder, and again, I'll go in more detail on that on another class, but basically, here's the batteries in here. There's a timer in here. The battery will spin. This will spin right here, like so. You can see the corn shooting out. This particular one will shoot out pretty far, all the way about 15 feet circle. And you can set it on how many times a day. I normally set it at 7 o'clock in the morning and 5 p.m. That way it's like right after sunup and right before sundown. And that's when you see most of the deer. And I also set it on, you can do 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. I put mine on 10 seconds in the morning and 5 seconds in the evening. Reason being, the corn in the evening, the deer are going to eat the corn, or hogs, or whatever, or turkeys. Mainly the hogs and the deer will eat it at night. You might catch some in the evening, which I have, especially hogs, wild boars. So anyway, that's my tips on deer feeders. And again, this is Keith Miller, the author for The Basics of Successful Deer Hunting. Thank you, and have a safe and successful hunt.